Changes coming. All right. So, how you doing? You doing all right? I just did a whole video for you guys telling you what's going on while I was driving out to Bonhoeffer Lumber, and I didn't do it right. And I'm not doing this one right either. Just wanted to get this here to show you what's going on. So, I got a call a few days ago from a couple up in Monterey, the Monterey Peninsula. I always say Monterey, and then I try to spell it that way, and it doesn't exist. You know why? Because there's the letter T in there. So, but I'm from Jersey. You know, you ought to hear me say water. So anyhow, I'm not going to Arizona this weekend for a bunch of reasons. Number one, the engine light came on in the van. I'm pretty certain it's just the gas cap. I replaced the gas cap, and there was a difference. You could feel it, so that's probably what it is, but I'm not sure. So I have the fuel pump here, and if I was going to go to Arizona, I was going to bring that with me, thinking, okay, if that light comes on again, could be a simple thing, but there's also this sensor on the top of the fuel pump, and I just want to have it with me because it's hard to find a good one out there. Anyhow, I was thinking about that, and I looked at the weather. It's going to be well over 100 degrees, so I started thinking, geez, they're having like kind of a heat wave right now. And I thought, what if I'm out there and it is that, and I got to drop that tank, it's going to be over 100 degrees. I don't want to do that job in that kind of weather. So that was on my brain, but fortuitously, my brain ain't working, but you get it. Fortunately, I got a call from these super nice people up there in Monterey, and they've got this old house with casement windows and some round top French doors. Everything's swinging out, which is incorrect, but we're going to keep that. But she wants me to make them more, weather tight. And she wants me to use spring bronze weather stripping, which I've done before. There's some special techniques with it. And she wants me to make her a new threshold that'll be kind of more weather tight for the French doors. And I've got a kind of a sketch of it right here. What I'm going to attempt to do, you guys can see that there, I think. So you got, there's an old threshold, then there's a new threshold, then there's the door there. So that shape will keep water from wanting to come into the house. And I got to cut the bottom of the door like that, put a little piece of weather stripping in there. I got to cut a groove on the bottom of those doors, blah, blah, blah. The thing is I was talking to them about it, and they had a lot of this stuff done, and the guy that made those doors didn't do it right. When you have two doors that close upon themselves, they should lock together. I'm going to draw you like a little thing here of what that should kind of look like. Rough sketch, right? Very rough sketch. Just bear with me. But when two doors close together, this is how it should be done. Basically. All right? What a lot of people do these days, because they don't have the skills, is they just have the two doors cut straight, and then they put a strip of molding on one side, sometimes on both sides. That's what they did here. That's not the way to do it. So I'm going to see if I could possibly recreate that as well. I'd have to cut the doors, glue a piece on, create that joint. I might not do it at all, but we'll see how they feel about it. There's a whole bunch of things. There's the possibility of replacing some hinges. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So when you have an old house and you're trying to keep the old, you want to retain the old architectural integrity that was originally designed into the home, you kind of need a guy like me that can think things out and make it happen. That's all. So it's hard for people to find that down here. But the beauty of this situation is I designed my van, my 2004 Astro van, specifically for this purpose. It's designed so that I can travel for work. Have tools, will travel. That's what they contacted me with. They saw one of my videos, and I did that as a hashtag, and so they contacted me, asked me if I'd be willing to go up there. And I've done it. many, many, many times. If you've been here long enough, you've seen it, right? So I did a job in Jersey, I think it was around 2018 or something, where I drove all the way out there with the parts and I put together an 8 foot by 5 foot island top of maple with butterfly mortises and a sink cutout. Cool thing about that is the oldest boy at that time, they were in high school, I think he's out of college now, and he just posted something today, or his mom did. He's in Puerto Rico and he just did some woodworking. He did a real nice wood screen door, mortise and tenon and everything. And I got to contact him. I think maybe I had a little influence on him with that, because it's an amazing thing. These days, everybody wants to go to college, and you got student loans and everything else. But I keep telling you, if you got kids, see what they might have talent in another way where they could be an artisan or learn some other trade. You learn a trade, you got no student debt, man. And you can make really good money, and you can become your own boss and do your own thing whenever you want. So, at that point, it's about choices in life. So if you want the big house and the family and everything else, well, then you just work a lot harder than I do. That's all. I work barely enough to pay the bills and get by, and that's what keeps me happy. I don't want the stress and everything else of turning it into a big, giant business. So, good for him. Super stoked. But what else have I done? I did the interior of an addition up in upstate New York a few years ago. I've done multiple projects at the Jersey Shore. I did a hunting cabin in West Texas. I did a job creating a bar, opening a wall up in Georgia. I'm all over the place. So the beauty of this is I got the van. I designed this van so it handles very well off-road, but it still has really good road characteristics. And the idea is you can hire me. You could be anywhere that I can get to on a road. As long as you're willing to pay me, I can go out there and get something done for you and do something cool. I just finished this. I picked this piece of white oak up from Bonhoff. It looked way worse than this. I face joined this side. I ripped both of these edges here to 90 degrees, and I just finished resawing it on the bandsaw. I did shoot a little footage of that, a couple seconds. Maybe I'll end it here. I'll put it at the end of the video, because that was supposed to be at the end of the other video that I just put in the trash. So this is what I'm going to make that threshold out of. So tomorrow I'll come back, I'll face join this again, I'll run it through the planer, and then I can start some of that, some of those shapes cut into it. Anyhow, this is the point. If you've got property, it's remote, maybe in the middle of nowhere, and you want a guy to come out and build you something. Maybe you have a structure, but you need it to be redone. Or you just want it cooler, or you want some furniture built into it. Whatever. I will go out there and do that. So that's what I want to get out of here as often as possible. So that's the thing, and that's the beauty of the van. And in this situation, the cool thing is, there's a number down here that contractors charge, which is it's well over $200 an hour they make down here, $235 or more, and I charge less than that. But if I go someplace else, and like in this case here, they're kind of putting me up. I'm going to sleep in the van, but I'll be parked in their driveway, and I'll be using their facilities, and they'll probably feed me. So I can give them less than my normal rate too, right? Because that's worth something. So in a weird way, you can get good quality work and save money at the same time. It's a win-win for everybody. So I'm just throwing that out there. I am 100% open to that, and I like when these things happen. And so as I was saying in the beginning, it's just a lucky situation here where it came up now. And I'll tell you what, Monterey, it's under 70 degrees there. It's like in the 60s. That's my favorite. It's my favorite weather, man. Here's even the kicker on this, even better. I got to go to Vacaville as well, and I think George said it's like an hour and a half away. So there's this other guy, George Carusos, who owns a company called Extreme Outback Products. Okay, look that up, Extreme Outback Products. And George makes the best. He makes them for the military. Compressor system. So you got an overlanding rig, 4x4, you're into rock crawling, whatever, you got to air your tires up and down all the time. George makes, hands down, the best, top of the line compressor system. And I mean, it's waterproof. You can mount it in any direction. It's amazing. And the cool thing is, I don't even know how long I've been talking to George. Let's call it 2 years. It could be 2 years now. And George found my YouTube channel because he's a 4x4 enthusiast. I believe he has, I don't know, saying a fleet is a big term. He'll probably laugh at me, but he has a whole bunch of like kind of old 4x4s, vintage 4x4s. I'm really looking forward to checking this out. And he knows what he's talking about. He's been doing it since he was a kid and modifying them. He's got a whole business built around it. So when I was modifying this van for 4x4, he was one of the very few people in the comments that was making pertinent suggestions to me. So much so that I reached out to him. We started talking on the phone. We bonded. We became pals. And guess what? He's Greek too. And I'm proud of this guy. And I'm proud to call him a friend. He's a good dude. He's got a great family, business, everything. It's just the American dream here. So good for him. At any rate, some time ago, he made me this offer. He said if I come up, he wants to install the setup in my van. So it's a compressor. And if he watches this, if I get this wrong, George, apologies. But I think he said he wants to run lines to all 4 tires. So basically it sounds like I can have an airlet right there that I could plug into, so I just need a short line or something. I don't know. But he wants to do that. He also said he wanted to put an air tank under the van so I can run air tools off that compressor. So, which is, again, a big deal. If I'm off-grid someplace, you hire me. You've got a cabin someplace, some old structure needs to be made livable again. Get the rats out. But redo the floors, beams, whatever it takes. Make it weather tight, make some cool furniture, whatever. Well, I could have a compressor system built into the van and run guns off that if I want to. So that's a very cool thing. The reason I'm bringing all this up is it's a drive up there, man. And it costs a couple $100 in gas just to get there, a couple more $100 to get back, and you need the time to do that and everything else. And I have not had the time to drive up there. And it's hot up there too. So, and I'm probably going to hit that on this trip. C'est la vie, right? I talked to George, and I'm hoping the timing, it's going to work right. Turns out he's coming down here around the 4th of July, which is Friday, but then he goes back on that Sunday. So what I'm hoping is to get up to Monterey, probably leave Monday, drive up there. I'll probably have to do the fastest route, so it won't be fun of a drive, and then try to get that job done as soon as possible. Then get to George and get all that stuff done before the 4th. And then maybe take a roundabout way home. Maybe I'll shoot out to the 395 up in the mountains there and come back down to LA that way. That'll probably be a nice scenic route. And that's what I'm thinking. We'll see. The one is closed off in a few spots these days. So, yeah, that's what's happening. Changes. Woo! So, I guess that's about it for this. So I covered everything. Again, just to reiterate, that's what the van's for. I like this. I want to travel for work. Anything that gets me out of here, it's a good thing. I will get back to Arizona. I just don't know when. If all this works out right, if everything gets done and it's a day or two before the 4th of July, who knows? Maybe I'll go straight to Arizona and do that. I doubt that'll happen, but who knows? But I'm just letting you guys know. Because I put it out there, the last video, and then right away I was getting all these messages from people telling me to have a good time. We've got Robin and Patrick, who are patrons of the channel, and they're such lovely people. What do I say all the time? It's the truth. I got the best subscribers. And some of you, if you hear I'm going somewhere, you know I don't have a bunch of money, so you'll send me a couple bucks for gas or something. And Robin and Patrick hooked me up, and I just want to let you know, it's definitely going to get used. So thank you. It's not over, and I will be going again to Arizona. Just probably wait a few weeks after that. I want to keep an eye on the weather. This thing in Arizona with that temperature where I'm at, that's not typical for it to be 100 degrees or more, at least, especially not for an extended period of time. So if it could be like in the 80s or 90s, I want to keep an eye on that and try to plan a trip at that time. Look and see if I've got that kind of weather for a week this time of year, and then get out there and see my niece and have the fun and everything else. So that's about it. I'm not sure if I said everything I wanted to say, but whatever. Here's some clips of me milling some lumber. They ain't over. Hey, before I forget, I wanted to mention this because I did mention this in the first video that I threw away. The reason I was going to Arizona was for my niece's birthday. She's going to be 10 years old, so I did call. I spoke with my sister, her mother, and her, because I wanted to talk to her. I didn't want to. I felt bad I was going to be letting her down because she was excited about it, and you know, it's important to tell the kid. I didn't want to just not show up and also not talk to her at the same time. Because the thing is, I'm an uncle many times over. I've got a bunch of nieces and nephews, but they're all adults now. And I was not a part of their lives. I didn't live in the same town. I lived on the opposite side of the country the whole time. I'm not a bad uncle. I don't even know all their names all the time and when their birthdays are, any of that. So she's my last hope, right? 10 years old. I got a chance with this one. make a good positive impression with her. And I'm proud of her. 3 years ago, I would have thrown her in the ocean. She was a friggin' monster. I don't want to be around 7-year-old kids, man. They're monsters, all right? But 10 years old, they start maturing all of a sudden. I'm having conversation with her like she's a little adult. Now she's doing jujitsu. And so I was asking her some questions about that. Obviously, they're not teaching her the stuff that I'm going to teach her. Her mom was 12 when I turned that gear in her head about self-defense and taught her some of the dirty tricks on how to survive and getting that seed, that mentality in there. And I did kind of create a monster, I guess. But whatever. It's important for you to know how to defend yourself. But I'm happy about her doing this. And she's so excited. And she's got a lot of friends now. And it's going to be fun. It sounds like there's going to be a whole bunch of people with her for her birthday. So it's not like she's missing out on anything. And I will make it up to her. And I promised her I'll do that. So I'll try to get to Arizona as soon as possible, specifically to have fun with her. And I told my sister, if you want, I'll take her off your hands for a couple days. I'll take her up on the mountain and camp out with her for a couple days or something and take her around. We'll have a good time. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I know I mentioned why I was going to Arizona originally. I talked about all of this in the video that I deleted, and I didn't want to leave that out, just so you guys know. Because you know everything else, right? Stick around. Okay. What we got here is just this is preliminary milling. Okay, so right in front of you here, which you might not see on camera, is a joiner planer. I just face joined this side of it, and now I just resawed it. I had to rip it straight first, so this is 90 degrees perfect on each of these edges. Then I can cut that piece off you just saw. So now I got this side and this side parallel to one another. Right now this is about 1 3/4 inches, a little heavy. It started out 2 inches thick. So I'll be able to make that piece out of this. Tomorrow I'll come back and I will reface joint it because it's going to move a little overnight. I don't think it's going to move that much. It's white oak. It was sitting around for a while, so I think we're going to be okay. Anyhow, that's the end of this video. Be good to one another. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay tuned. It's going to be fun. Probably the next video you guys will see of me will be me driving up there. So stay tuned and follow along. I'll probably give a few tips here and there. Other than that, just fun stuff. And when we get the compressor going over there at Extreme Outback Products, that's going to be cool.